Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today is a really exciting day. It's a really exciting review. This would usually go up on Foundation Friday, but if you're watching this on release day, if you're watching this live, you will realise this is not a Friday. This is actually a Wednesday. And you will probably put two and two together and realise Gemma's made a mistake again, because I do that a lot. But in this case, this is already pre-thought out. I actually have a video that's already pre-planned for Friday. And this is a new product. I wanted to play around with it a little bit and get this review up for you as soon as possible because this is a brand new product and it's really exciting. This is the brand new product from Trinny London and it is a tinted serum. Really excited to get some of this on my face. Before I do, hi, if you are new here, my name's Gemma. I am a qualified esthetician and lover of anything beauty, skincare and makeup. I upload videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 PM London time, and I'm also on Instagram. If you fancy checking me out over there, it's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. I would really appreciate it if you consider coming and joining the Pampered Wolf pack. They are amazing. Click on that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let's do a little bit of bump on this product and we'll get some on my face. So this is the Trinny London BFF De-stress Serum, £39 in the UK, and you get the standard 30 mils. What I will say though, I am usually a 1.5 to 2 pumps worth of foundation sort of girl, and I only ever use 1 pump of this, so a little does go a very long way. This comes in 12 different shades. It will give buildable light coverage and gives a radiant finish. You can apply this over the top of the very popular BFF Skin Perfector if you're wanting more radiance and more glow. And if you apply 1/4 teaspoon of this, you will be getting the SPF of 30 that it advertises on the bottle as well. This is cruelty free. It's also alcohol free. It does contain a fragrance though, and I have to mention that because last time I did a Trinny review, I forgot to mention that, and it's a really important point. So those of you that are very sensitive to fragrance, you may not be able to use this. So let me just read you what it says on the side of the box, because this is the part of the sciencey bit that I want to get completely correct. So a first of its kind skincare formula designed to instantly awaken tired looking skin. Our scientifically proven MP Triox or Triox technology defends and protects the skin from daily stress such as digital HEV light, tiredness, tension, and pollution. Hyaluronic acid instantly plumps and smooths, leaving your skin looking fresh, radiant, and well rested. Let's get some of this on the skin. So I already have all of my skincare on my face and I've given that plenty of time to sink in before I'm applying the rest of the products. I am going to be applying the BFF Skin Perfector SPF 30 on this side of my face so that we can compare how this wears on top of the BFF and also just on its own. So just going to put a squirt of that on my fingers. I already have SPF on my skin, so I'm not using this as an SPF today. I'm just going to use this as makeup, as a skin perfector. So you can see how much shinier this side of my face is to this side. This is just much, much glowier. It's a beautiful base for a matte foundation. Really, really is. Not quite sure how it's gonna wear with the De-stress over the top though. Let's find out. So the shade of the De-stress that I've gone for is Claire. Now, this is going to be the wrong shade for me. I've tried this out already, so I do know it's the wrong shade for me. This is for light skin tones, and I've got a feeling that if you are my shade twin, I will be Jemima, which is for fair skins with a neutral undertone. So I'm just going to add 1 pump to the back of my hand. As you can see, it's standing proud on my hand, so it is quite a creamy texture. Where you would say a serum, I would say it would be very, very loose and liquid-like. This is definitely not loose and liquid-like, but it's definitely not moisturizer texture either. It's not like the IT Cosmetics CC cream. So I'm going to apply this with my fingers, and anybody that's a regular to my channel will know I don't like applying things with my fingers, especially when they have a serious tint, because, you know, I just don't like it going underneath my nails. I am getting a little bit better at getting my fingers in there. But yeah, I'm much more of a brush applicator person. I don't like using one finger because it just, you know, don't like getting them all messy. So let's get all the fingers in there. There we go. This has a little bit more coverage than I was expecting, which is nice, but yeah, it's surprising. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Now I have had a little bit of pilling of the BFF, which I don't usually do, but when I use the BFF, I'm not usually applying stuff over the top of it. So let's go on to the other side that hasn't had the BFF Skin Perfector underneath. Completely different application. You can really see this product. It's nowhere near as shiny as the BFF. This is actually much more skin-like. I think I actually prefer this side at the moment. The coverage is great. Again, completely unexpected, the amount of coverage that this can actually give. It's definitely not full coverage, don't get me wrong, but I just, for some reason, with it being a serum, I was not expecting to be able to get a decent amount of coverage. So looking at it with just one pump of this, you can see that it is the wrong shade for me. I will do something about that in just a second. My preference is the side that I've only applied the De-stress on its own. This side where I've applied the BFF underneath it, it's still lovely and a lot of people are going to prefer this side, but for me it's just slightly too dewy and that's not my preference. So this side, very, very skin-like, very natural, just the right amount of dewiness and radiance to the skin, and you can see the skin. We're going to test whether this is actually buildable now because it does say that it's a buildable coverage. So let's see if it is. The consistency of this is really lovely. It doesn't feel like a moisturizer. It does feel more like a loose foundation. It's so smooth. It really is so smooth. Now, the one tip that I can give you, I had a little bit of a play around with this yesterday. Do not get this near your eyes because believe me, if you get it in your eyes, this stings. This really, really does sting, which is the main drawback, I would say, to this product. I like to at least put my foundation or tint on my eyelids because usually when I'm going for a tint, it's because I want a very natural makeup, so I don't want to be applying any eyeshadow primers or anything like that to the lid space, and I don't feel like I can do that in this instance because, again, if it gets in your eye, it's not pleasant, shall we say. So that's just absolutely gorgeous, just building it up in the areas that I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. I would say I've got low medium coverage. You can hardly see any of my acne scarring at all. The skin just looks absolutely perfect. So at the moment I've got really, really dry skin and you wouldn't know. You definitely wouldn't know. Usually I say if you get really up close and personal, you will be able to tell. You cannot tell. You definitely cannot tell with this product. So I'm really loving the look of this at the moment. There is still quite a lot of tackiness on the surface of the skin, especially where I built it up over my acne scarring. We'll see if that settles down. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So this is the finished look for today. I am loving this. I just think it looks absolutely flawless on my skin. I'm going to show you this up close and personal so you can really see what I mean. I'll show you the side that has the BFF on first. There are slight issues with this side, and this may not be a product issue, it may be an application issue. I just feel like there are certain areas of patchiness, but only on the side that I applied the BFF underneath. Again, this may be completely my fault. I am still playing around with this and really getting to grips with the product, so it may be my issue, but you won't really notice I am being extremely picky. So let me show you this up close and personal. So I have powdered my T-zone, but that is the only area that I've powdered, and my cheeks have no tackiness on them whatsoever. They have dried down now, and I can definitely touch my skin without any stickiness whatsoever. That doesn't mean that this is going to be transfer resistant, however. You are going to get some transfer with this, but it's not going to be massive because this really doesn't have any tackiness on the cheeks. The side with the BFF looks beautiful and radiant. The side without the BFF looks much more of a natural matte finish, really flawless. And on the side that I didn't apply the BFF, my pores actually look slightly airbrushed, which I was not expecting with this product. So this hasn't settled into any of my pores, any of my dryness. It just looks absolutely beautiful, really evened my skin tone out, and I'm really happy at this moment in time. So we are going to see how this is going to wear throughout the day, because that will be the major thing. I know that a lot of people love Trinny London products. I am one of them, but they don't last all day on me. They definitely don't last all day on my mum, and that's why the little stacks are so fantastic, because you can continuously touch up your makeup throughout the day. I'm hoping that this product is going to be a little bit more long wearing, because this is going to be slightly more difficult to reapply throughout the day rather than one of the little pots that you can just pat a little bit in. With the consistency of this product, it is going to be slightly more problematic. So, fingers crossed, because it just looks beautiful now. I will check in with you a little bit later on. See you all in a bit. Welcome back to the check-in. It's now been just over 8 hours since I first applied the Tinted Serum to my skin, and it's done really well. I really like the way that it looks on my skin. It's worn really beautifully. I'm going to show you this in natural lighting in just a second, but I would like to point out something. I do think that this has oxidized slightly, and this is definitely not looking as fresh as it did when I first applied it. Again, it's been just over 8 hours, so I wouldn't expect it to. So let's just see how this does with a dusting of a small amount of powder. I'm just going to take some of my Hourglass translucent powder, is it? Translucent setting powder. And I'm just going to dust this on my skin, because it could do with taking a bit of the shine off. And look at that. That looks so much better already. It's been a great base for the rest of my products. If you can see, none of my blush has disappeared, none of my bronzers disappeared. So I've been really happy with it in that way. It's also felt extremely comfortable on my skin all day. It's just not felt like anything. And it's looked really beautiful, very natural, and just very youthful. It's just been a nice skin day today. So let me show you this up close and personal so you can make up your own minds. So I really put this through its paces today. I've been out in the rain to pick B up from school, and this has remained comfortable with no tackiness on my cheeks. So this hasn't had that tacky, hydrating feel on my face. Not that I mind that feeling, but I do know that a lot of you don't like that tacky touch to the skin, and this hasn't had that all day. I do prefer the side without the BFF. I do think that the side with the BFF has slightly rubbed off more than the side without the BFF. It's just remained a lot more true. This has slightly rubbed off on my chin area. There is a nice shiny breakout on there, which looks a bit like a honing beacon at the moment, which I just haven't tried to cover over because I didn't want to add any more products to my skin before I'd spoken to you all. So have a good look at that. That's a beauty. This has sat in the severe dryness that I have on my chin, but it's only noticeable when you get really up close and I pull the skin on my chin so that you can see the cracks, and you know, who's gonna do that? No one's gonna do that. I think this would best suit a skin that is normal to dry. If you have tried this and you do have an oily skin and you really like it, please do let everybody know about your experience in the comment section, because I'm sure they would all be really, really interested in your thoughts and opinions. I think that this is one of those products that not everyone is going to get on with. I think if you love the Trinny London products to begin with, you are going to adore this tinted serum. It's a lovely, lovely serum. And for me personally, this lasts longer than the Just a Touch and also the effects of the BFF on me. So this is much longer lasting, and I don't feel like I've had to touch this up through the day. Or obviously I have just taken the shine down a little bit with a bit of powder, which was needed and necessary, but I find that with a lot of other foundations as well. So for me, this has lasted a lot longer and has much more longevity than the other Trinny face products. But I really like it. I think it looks really flattering on my skin. I think it's beautiful. I will definitely be purchasing my correct shade, which I do believe will be Jemima, but I will let you know. Let's just do the transfer test, because like I said earlier on, this just doesn't feel tacky on the skin whatsoever, and yet feels really hydrating, which doesn't actually make sense to me. I don't find this drying at all on the skin, and yet, you know, nothing. Let me just press my phone against my face. There is a slight patch that you can see on my phone, but I mean, it's slight. And it doesn't have a shade to that. Again, a little bit like the IT Cosmetics from last week. This is very, very similar in the case of it's really kind to the skin, and yet it doesn't have that tacky feeling, which, I mean, wow, really impressive. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really like this product. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. I thought this would be off my skin within the 4-hour mark, and it's pleasantly surprised me. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.